Alright, hello everybody. I am Beeps, and with me I have Asder, and we will be commentating the max percent GT code race that's going on right now. So, it started a bit early because the last one was, because we're slightly behind a schedule, so just gonna get right through it. So, the first thing we did was you saw a series skip earlier because, well, they did series, but it was off the stream most likely. So, the run's going to start off very similar to any percent. They're going to grab the first missile, going to get more, and then they're going to get bombs, but then they're going to skip every other item. So the entire goal of this category is get the highest percent possible and using the GT code. So basically get 135%. That's the max percent without using any other glitches other than GT code. Do you have anything you want to say, Asder, or should I continue explaining it?
If you want to continue explaining the premise of it, go ahead. It's a pretty neat category with some unique strats. Just given that it's like sort of a combination of low percent at the start and then into 100% run after.
Alright, so basically in this category, when you do GT code, the game gives you a ton of stuff. So the game gives you all the major items except for Skewer Attack, and by major items I mean everything you see on the pause menu. And it'll give you 3 reserve tanks, 700 energy, 100 missiles, 20 supers, and 20 power bombs. So in this run, you're gonna actually have see the runners skip every single E-tank and missile, but they're gonna be able to pick up things like Varia or Gravity or whatever, because basically once they do GT code, they get a ton of items, and if they pick up ammo early, then they're gonna miss out on some potential percentage. So they have to get the minimum percentage possible before they actually do GT code. And then once they do GT code, they're going to pick everything up. But they're able to skip items that are already in a pause menu because those are, if you have 2 items that are in a pause menu, like if you have 2 spring balls, for example, the game only counts it as 1. So Susreime is the first out of BT, and then MrGuyAverage is second, and looks like Hero 82 and BFRobber are both fighting. Both have basically the same time kill, so you're going to see the first major divergence from every other category on Susreime's stream. He's just going to jump over that E-tank. And that's actually going to make the movement quite a bit harder later on. So to give an idea how the route is going to work, the runners are going to have to get Gravity Suit because they're going to have 0 E-tanks for Lava Dive, and the goal is to get the highest percentage possible. And if they pick up an E-tank, then they're going to be locked in at 134%, which is not the max percent, so they have to get their way to wreck ship and get Gravity Suit because that won't affect the percent counter at the very end of the game. The runners are still going to pick up 5 missiles, 5 supers, and 5 power bombs beforehand, though, because those are required to get to the GT code area. And I guess I should explain GT code. Basically, if you enter the mini boss Golden Chorizo and hold the 4 face buttons, A, B, X, and Y, all at the same time, there's one frame in the door where it will just give you all the items I talked about earlier.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my push to talk key decided not to work and think it was a different key, so there we go.
Okay.
So yeah, I was kind of just saying that they're allowed to pick up any like major upgrades, but E-tanks, missiles and stuff, it's pretty hard to remember to jump over the Terminator E-tank, for example.
So one thing you're actually seeing is Susreime skip Charge Beam, and MGA actually picked it up. charge beam does not affect the percent counter in the end. So, yeah. The runners can safely pick that up without having to worry. And it actually looks like Susreime is going to be the only one skipping charge beam. Also,
Yeah.
Oh, you can go.
Yeah, I think it's just a comfort thing.
Yeah. And I'm just going to say, Susreime is going up Red Tower to get his first power bombs right now. So, he has the world record in the category right now, and he does some pretty crazy strats. So, look out for that. Meanwhile, MrGuyAverage is going to go down, and it's likely all the other runners are going to go down too.
Yeah, so if you go down, you can kill Kraid and get Variosuit, which you're allowed to get because it's a major item. It's not gonna, it wouldn't add to your percent if you picked it up after GT code. So we're okay with getting that now. And Variosuit is gonna let you get Speed Booster without dying to heat damage.
So I guess I can describe some of the items that, or some of the potential routes. So the main route that people normally take is they go down Red Tower, pick up Variosuit, and then they're going to go and get Speed Booster. They could also get High Jump if they want, but they want to get across Moat, and Moat is a really bad room because there's a missile pack that's really hard to avoid without Speed Booster or Grapple or something of the like. I mean, you can do crazy bomb jumps to get over it, but we might be seeing those, but it's very few people would actually go for that strat. But Susreime here is actually able to do those crazy bomb jumps, so we might be seeing him do that. I'm not actually sure which route he's going to go for.
Oh, he's going back down Red Tower, so I don't think he's going for that.
Oh, he's going for the crazy strat. He's going to get X-Ray. He's going for it.
Oh, so what does X-Ray do here?
So X-Ray is going to allow him to get past the... It's gonna let him get gravity without Speed Booster, basically. He's gonna do an X mode with it later on. So, start off, he's got to get to X-Ray with basically no items. It's actually not too bad with an E-Tank, but with no E-Tanks, it's really difficult. And
he's gonna take a hit here. That's This is why he saved at the top of Red Tower.
Yeah. The way he does his category is very risky. So the three other runners have their Variosuit now.
Yeah, so 60 damage per every spike there. So everyone else has comfortably got a Variosuit. GuyAverage actually missed the kill on that Nova. He's gonna climb back up to shoot open this door. But you have to kill the Nova to open that door. Ideally, you want to do that on your first pass in the room, unless you have power bombs.
Yeah.
So X mode, he said he's going to be using. So does that mean that he's going to get Speed Booster?
No, with this route, he skips Speed Booster altogether.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's skipping Speed Booster would be like the main thing that you'd want to do to save time, because you need Variosuit to go get Speed Booster if you don't get Gravity first. So that's the major time save that he's going for here, is not having to do what these other guys are doing.
So you can see he had to do some crazy bomb jumps to get in there, zero tank. Getting out is about as hard as going in, but he has X-Ray now. So it looks like our other runners are opting to get high jump boots. It just makes the run a lot easier up until later points.
Yeah, so this zero E-Tank X-Ray acquiring is it's what optimal any percent glitched does now, and it literally it's optimal to do an in-person glitch just because it saves the 7 seconds of picking up the E-Tank. It's crazy, but it's so dangerous. But here, like, we don't have a choice. We're not allowed to pick up the E-Tanks yet.
Yeah, Susreime getting it second try, that's actually really amazing. That's such a hard trick to do.
Yeah, like, at all. So I admittedly don't know very much about what X mode is able to do.
Guess I can describe it when we get there then.
There is a way to do this without X mode, which is the way I was aware of was you'd have to horizontal infinite bomb jump all the way over the moat to avoid getting that moat missile, and then for the bowling alley, you'd have to do the same thing across the entire bowling alley, because you can take at most one hit from the spikes without Varia and no E-Tanks. These other guys, they're going to be able to take 2 hits because they've got Varia.
Yeah. But they'd be able to take 3 hits, actually.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So, now Hero has his speed booster, and, well, MrGuyAverage is almost leaving Norfair, and BFRobber is going to pick up his speed booster, so they're going to be heading up the wreck ship as soon as they can. And you're actually going to see the bomb jumps from Susreime right here. He's going to bomb jump across the moat over the missile. What a madman.
This is crazy.
Yeah, he does some crazy strats.
Oh, we are looking at chat, don't worry. We can't really say 2 things at the same time, though.
Yeah, there's just so much to go over in this category in such a short length of time. Especially since we lost Series Station, that's a good time to explain the run.
Yeah, so anyways, to recap for people that just joined, max percent GT code. If you aren't familiar with GT code, it's a debug code you can input by holding A, B, X, and Y during the door transition as you load Golden Torizo's room. And it gives you all the major items except for Screw Attack, and it gives you 120 and 20 ammo and 700 energy and Grapple and X-Ray. So it's like, it was a debug code that was left in presumably to like test the Gold Torizo fight with the item loadout you're kind of supposed to have there. But it was left in the game. It was discovered in 2010, and we can use it for special categories like this one or GT Classic, which is just kind of like the regular any percent with doing GT code. But so max percent, because it gives you a bunch of free items, you can then go and pick up every other expansion pack in the game to add to your percentage. So the major items, they're only going to count for 1% no matter how many times you pick them up, because the game just checks whether it's in your inventory. But for the expansions, the game actually calculates how many you have. It takes all of your missile counts and divides them by 5, for example.
So it may be hard to tell, but MrGuyAverage is actually about to catch up to Susreime right here.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get over the moat quite easily with the Speed Booster, and then he's going to be a little bit faster in the wreck ship having Speed Booster.
So that is why runners will pick up Speed Booster just so they can skip that missile. If that missile wasn't right there, then runners would be able to go through, or well, maybe not. It'd be a bit hard, but they could go through wreck ship. Kind of, because of bowling, but the missile was the first of the major roadblocks in wreck ship.
So if you could skip power bombs entirely up to doing this, then that would be possible, but you need them to get into Lower Norfair, and he gets across. Wow.
So those horizontal bomb jumps are really difficult. But only the craziest routes will actually require it.
Yeah, so when they get to GT code, that just completely like equalizes everything they've done because it gives you a very specific item set. So it won't matter at all what they've done prior to it. It just matters who gets to that point first, and then the run's kind of going to be under the same conditions from then on for everyone. So that's why GuyAverage taking the lead here is really significant. Susreime is still second with Hero just behind. Okay. GuyAverage supers Fantoon too early, enraging him. So Fantoon's going to spit out 8 rounds of flames now, which luckily GuyAverage picked up Charge Beam, so he's able to pseudo screw attack through these flames without taking damage. This is probably a good reason to grab Charge Beam. It pretty much saves you from dying here. You can dodge the flames without it, but it's a bit difficult.
Yeah, I mean, Charge Beam just allows really safe enrage strats, because if you're able to take this fight actually pretty safe, and Susreime, despite being the second to get to Fantoon, is actually the first out. He had a really great Fantoon fight.
Yeah, because of that super. Susreime has a lot of practice in this. Like, this is his main category. Hero just getting hit by that flame. Hero did a golden shower though, which is the Spazer special beam attack. That was really cool to see.
Yeah.
It does 300 damage, so like it's the equivalent of 3 missiles. And you only have 5 missiles going into this fight, so like actually getting good like missile dopplers on him is really hard. You have to manage your drops really well. It's like you can't get a missile drop to spawn. Oh, BFRobber taking a death too. You can't get a missile drop to spawn if you're at full missiles. So you have to make sure that when you shoot flames, you're at 4 missiles so that they can appear on screen, and then you have to be able to pick them up while you're shooting your first 2 sets of missiles at Fantoon before you do a Doppler. So it's just really hard to manage.
So despite Fantoon still being despite being able to take Fantoon safe, the runners still only have 1 tank here when they could have at least, I don't know, 3 tanks in normal 80% and more items. So it's still a really difficult Fantoon either way.
Yeah, and the key hunters in the Avic, they do 60 damage or 30 with Varia, so still gotta be careful.
So Susreime is about to go for X mode. So basically, he has to unmorph, and then got the frame perfect unmorph. So now he's running across the spikes. So he only took 1 spike hit, and he's using X mode to run across. And then once the Chorizo or the Chozo statue appears on screen, he's gonna be able to just jump out of it and skip the rest of the spikes, just like that.
So the camera wasn't following him during that, but you could actually still see his mini-map go across the room.
So normally you have to take at least 2 spike hits, which would deal 120 damage, but the X mode is why he's able to just go across. And first try too, that's really amazing. With Varia, you're able to take 3 hits, so you don't have to worry about that. But that is why he picked up X-Ray earlier.
So that was a frame perfect. That's frame perfect, right? And you have 1 try to do it because the door locks behind you.
Yeah. And even if it didn't, he still has 1 health, or he can only take 60 damage. But with gravity, he doesn't really have to worry about too much anymore. Now he can go to Norfair and just do the GT code.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to land on that missile.
I mean, it looks like BFRobber may have forfeit, yeah. I don't know if he saved.
Oh yeah, true, maybe he didn't.
which is really unfortunate.
Like, I don't think, like, for runners of this level, I don't think surviving Fantoon with Variasuit and 1E tank is, like, that unreasonable. If it really doesn't go your way, then yeah, you can die, but it's like, because Varia halves the damage you take, it effectively doubles how effective the health pickups are. So it's, like, really not as bad as a 1 tank with Power Suit.
GuyAverage is right on Susreime's tail right now. I mean, he's entering the room right as Susreime leaves, so, and there's still about an hour of run left. So, this can go anywhere. And
Yeah.
Hero's not out of it either, because, again, there's still an hour left of the run. Anything can happen.
I do expect Susreime to pull ahead pretty massively, though, just because, like, of his experience in this category and all the crazy strats that he's developed for it. So, like, after this point, once they get to Golden Teresa, they're going to be very safe on what items they have, and it's not going to be so much in the way of difficult tricks required as it is just maybe difficult time-saving strats to go for.
Yeah, so actually, GuyAverage is slightly ahead because he has Speed Booster and he has killed Kraid, so he's able to go. He doesn't have to go through Cathedral again.
Oh, I completely forgot about having to kill Kraid. Yeah, so.
Yeah, forgot about that too.
So they actually aren't going to be equal when they hit Gold Teresa. I was wrong about that.
But they'll be pretty close because Kraid, I want to say, is maybe like 3 minutes more or less. I haven't actually. I'm just kind of guessing the time there.
I think it's more like.
I think
it's probably more like 2 minutes, maybe even less.
Because I know the missile was like, I want to say a bit more than a minute in Hundo.
Maybe it's like 2:30. Yes, he is going to gravity jump without Variasuit. You can barely make this. I think he's going to gravity jump anyways.
I mean, he really has no other choice than to gravity jump.
You could you could ladder bomb jump past the Name fireball. Technically an option. Well, I think that's what you have to do in Dashless, I forget.
So Hero picking up his gravity suit.
It was going to be really tight. Yeah, so you had to re-equip it like just like as soon as possible to avoid dying.
Yeah. So GuyAverage didn't actually fail max percent because he didn't pick up any items that are really counted for. So basically he picked up Varia and Speed Booster and High Jump, but those aren't actually affecting the max percent counter because they only get counted one time. Whereas ammo packs, E-tanks, and reserve tanks do get counted multiple times.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so like I said, the major upgrades, the unique ones, the game only checks whether they're in your inventory or not. So if you were to pick up the item after doing GT code, it wouldn't affect your percentage. But getting extra missile packs on top of the 100 that GT code gives you does affect it, so.
Alright, so Susreime is going to be the first one to do GT code right here. So he's going to enter the door, hold the 4 face buttons, and then you're going to see him get a ton of items right here. So just going to get a ton of energy and a ton of ammo. And then turn off his phaser. So now he's just going to pick up every item in the game. So this is when he's gonna actually pick up all his ammo packs. Because
Hero
now
82.
he's not.
I was just
Sorry.
gonna say Hero 82 is destroying the tube, which is faster to do. It's faster to do on your way through the first time, just so you don't have to wait for it the second time.
So GuyAverage has done his GT code now, so he's gonna start picking up as many items as they can, or as he can.
Okay, so Susreime now going for the GT missile from the front, which you have to get from the front, and it requires a space jump to activate this statue. So he had to do a short charge there. Even though he has screw attack, he had to have the speed booster effect as well, because otherwise the flame would have hit him as he broke out of spin to shoot the door. I mean, if you're doing a task, you're not going to crystal flash clip to the GT missile. You're just going to use X mode and do a super jump. Oh, nice. GuyAverage also gets the spring ball bounce through that door. That's a pretty hard trick. It looks really cool.
So I guess it is a good time to say that besides Kraid, all the runners are basically synced up now.
I'm going to see about switching to Susreime's audio. Looks to be ahead.
Alright. Alright, and Hero about to do his GT code.
Also turn him down a bit.
It's also worth noting that all the runners unequipped space are there because they had Murder Beam active, which was 5 beams combined, which is not supposed to happen in normal gameplay. And it'd be fastest to just turn off Spazer.
Yeah, Murder Beam is just a lag machine.
Yeah.
And if you fire it uncharged, it just crashes the game. So, unless you're trying to do something specific with it, it's not a good thing to use. It is useful on Mother Brain for an in-game time run, but that's about it. Nice pirate double kill. So he's going to be the first into Ridley. That's a really tiny optimization that he did there, firing the charge shot at him from the top of the room downward. So you want to fire the shot as early as you can, so that when it uses its travel time to hit Ridley as he appears. So that lets you fire it a bit earlier, which means you can start charging your next shot earlier than if you just charged it and shot it in his face.
At most, it would save a second.
That was crazy fast fight.
Yeah. So this is when a run turns into hundo. So it starts off low percent because they need to get as many or get as few items as they can before GT, and then after GT they need to get as many as they can. So all the runners are gonna go full hundo here.
Yeah, so there's some kind of interesting differences from hundo for the remainder of this run, and that's because like they haven't. They still have to go back and clean up every area, but also they don't actually have to go. Oh, nice like reverse Kago through the platforms that Susreime just did.
I didn't even know you could do a reverse Kago there.
Yeah, with Spring Ball. Oh, this is gonna start being fun when they get over 14 energy tanks.
Oh yeah.
Particularly in the at Mother Brain, that's gonna be fun. So it's not slower. GT code saves. Oh, what is it? It saves about 8 minutes in a normal like any percent no major glitches context, but it's banned because it's a cheat code, so it's relegated to its own categories. So the category that uses it for any percent with the 4 major bosses is called GT Classic, and the record's about 32 minutes.
Almost had a Hodorubi special from Susreime, but you didn't get the speed booster. It's a really cool strat though.
Also, I know that's a joke, but GT code's actually patched in the randomizer so that we don't have people cheating with it. It's very easy to patch. It's a single byte change.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's classified as a cheat code. It doesn't necessarily mean it technically is one, but it's just how we classify things for runs.
I mean, just it's only 1 byte change. The
It's
execution out.
well, it's probably I don't know the specifics of the opcode that's used. I think it just breaks the routines that it doesn't function,
Okay.
so that when you go to do it, it doesn't actually do anything. So Susreime charting a spark here. He's not going to get speed booster since he already has it. That's not going to add to his percentage like we talked about. And so he used that spark to spark on the way back through that room since he's already ran over all the crumble blocks. Now that's not as trivial as it looks because one of those slopes is not really tiled the best. And so if you don't Shine Spark from like a specific horizontal position, you can actually bonk on that slope with your Shine Spark.
Also, that the ski could just drop the power bomb on hero screen. That's the 2% chance.
It always drops them when you don't need them.
Yeah. Shout out to needing power bombs there and dumb randos.
Yeah, if you're there without bombs and you don't have any other items that assist in getting out, so like, bombs would break the bomb blocks. Spring ball would let you save a bomb. Bomb jumping out of the tunnel. Screw attack would let you break one of the bomb blocks on the way out. Speed booster lets you speedball through 2 of them. If you don't have any of those items and 5 PBs and no bombs, it's like you need 6 PBs to get out, so you have to hope one of those disc keys drops at 2%. MrGuyAverage getting the spark back just fine. So yeah, they have to do it a specific way or they're gonna bonk. So on the lookout for that. But yeah, so it changes those rooms a little bit that they have to go get the missile. Like they have to go get wave missile, for example, as well, but not continue to wave beam. And so one of the best things about this, or one of the worst things, depending on your opinion, is that they don't have to go to Shack Tool at all. They just get to skip the entire spring ball section because that is just one major item that they already have.
And that means they never get to kill Shack Tool then. So good thing. Never kill Shack Tool. Or at least that's the way I see it. So Susreime is about to go fight Croc now. So it doesn't look like it, but he already has grapple beam, so he's not gonna have to pick it up. Similarly, Hero 82 and MrGuyAverage both have grapple and X-ray. It just doesn't appear on the HUD until you save and reload.
That was a strange mock ball to do. I guess it's like to, unmorph and shoot a super at the Croc door. I don't know. That was interesting. But yeah, so the grapple and X-ray icons aren't on the HUD. They actually specifically have a routine for getting drawn on that's tied to the item pickup itself. It's also drawn on save and reload. But other than that, there's nothing in-game that will cause them to be drawn.
Oh wow, these spring ball jumps. Doesn't lose any time though because he has to wait for Croc to go to the other end.
Yeah, there's like Crocmire's spirit or whatever that you can actually see it floating along the bottom of the screen in the acid, and that's what you have to wait for. So Hero setting up. Oh, Hero bonks on the slope.
So that's what as we're talking about with the bad collision.
Yeah, so slopes in this game are weird. They work in a really sort of hacky way, actually. So there are the like actually visible like triangular slope tiles, but then there are square slope tiles that are supposed to be placed behind them. I call them slope assisters. I don't think there's really a good name for them. But basically what those tiles do is they look like just regular solid tiles, but what they do is when you touch them, they push you up. They push you either to the top or the bottom of the square that they're in. So that's supposed to make sure that when you run up a slope and then go onto a square tile, Samus doesn't stub her toe and stop. But if you don't place 2 of them in a row after a triangular slope tile, then if Samus is Shine Sparking, she can actually go too fast for those slope assisters to contour her properly to the ground. So that's what's happening there with the slope bonks.
And yeah, so interesting.
And so actually, if you're making a ROM hack and you invert one of those square slope assisters by accident, and the player touches it, you actually get sucked into the ground or the ceiling. because of how they work.
Is that kind of what happens in the sand pits, or is that something else?
No, that's something else.
Okay.
It's an instant suck for the slope tiles.
Are there any like that in this game? Or is that
No,
just...
no. I
Okay.
think we'd know about it if so. But it's a common mistake that people can make.
It's actually pretty cool. And also kind of bad if it was in this game. Alright, so Susreime is about to go get Kraid Missile and kill Kraid.
Yeah, so their positions are gonna pretty much even up after this. Actually, so GuyAverage might still have a lead. Oh no, actually, he still has to get Kraid Missile, so it's not quite that big. So yeah, Susreime has to go kill Kraid. GuyAverage and the others are just gonna have to pop in there to get Kraid Missile, and then they're gonna be able to leave. I actually forgot GuyAverage still has to get Ice Missiles, so I'm sure he's actually still behind.
Wait, did he go through the ice area to get to Croc, or... I don't know.
I don't think
I
so.
wasn't looking.
Maybe?
It looked like he did.
Oh, never mind, he did.
So Susreime not even gonna get Varia, because he already has Varia. So there's no reason to get it.
So yeah, they're actually gonna be really even. Susreime's gonna be like 3 rooms ahead.
That's actually not that many.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that the game over screen says that, because, like, find the Metroid larva. Well, it's right there on the screen. It's easy.
Looks like Hero was caught up quite a bit, actually. Even though he had a Phantoon death early on. Because he's just gonna pick up the Croc escape missiles. Or I guess he has to get cosine too, but just clean up the rest of Norfair and then get the Kraid missiles.
I gotta step out for just 1 minute.
So really the big thing is this is going to rely on a ton of movement now. So there's very few actual big tricks left in the run. It's just all movement. Because the big tricks happened earlier. So Susreime is gonna go to an area that I call Choot Soups. People call it Meridia Beach or Watering Hole or whatever, but I like Choot Soups because there's a Choot and there's supers. Guy Average right behind.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. So because Susreime and Guy Average in a bit are gonna both have X-ray, they're able to just microwave Botwoon. Oh, it looks like Susreime actually went for an interesting strat. He did some microwave strats and hit Botwoon with a super as well, because it's slightly faster.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
I've never actually seen anyone do it.
So your beam does that beam combo does 900 per hit. So you do 2 microwaves to get it to hit 3 times for 2700, and then the super gives you 3000, which is how much health Botwoon has. So it's interesting that that's faster.
I think part of it is that you're not waiting for Botwoon to come out as long, because with an extra X-ray would just be more time Botwoon just sitting there doing nothing. Also, Guy Average going to pick up that E-Tank later, while Susreime picked it up now. Because Susreime is actually going to go for an interesting strat where he's going to need to be at low health, and Guy Average might not be going for that. So you're going to be seeing him do a ton of damage himself.
That was a really nice full halfie from GuyAverage. Susreime got it too, but GuyAverage's Shrine Spark charge was so close to the wall, I think. Like, I don't know, it was just so clean. So Susreime does partial microwave to get the Shrine Spark kill, get Blue Suit from Dragon. Just kind of a tough strat to go for.
Most of the reason he wants it is so that he can deal more damage with a Shine Spark right here. Ah man, he missed it.
Oh, you missed it.
Unfortunately. So his health is actually a bit higher than it should be now. Went for the... Oh, wow. He went for the blue bomber strat, missed it, but he did a backup clip in there. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's crazy. You need to only hit out one column of those blocks to be able to do that clip.
It's the same clip that you see in the wreck ship. It might be slightly different, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's the same one.
It's the same, yeah.
Again, we're not going to be seeing any Shack Tool because there's no need. Because Shack Tool will only give Spring Ball. And also, the Plasma Beam Room will only give Plasma, so he's not going to go there either.
He is going up the toilet, though. We're going to see Forgotten Highway.
Oh, he has to get some more items in Sandpit first. I believe the weird sand physics will interfere with the moon falling in there.
We get to see reverse Cack Alley just like 100%. So everyone else
man. That was... Okay, sorry.
No, that's fine. He almost got the tent blue going down through those blocks.
So he almost got 10 blue, but if you mess that up and don't jump out in time, he'll soft lock. So because he's fast enough, he didn't soft lock, but that is a big problem.
Yeah, those top speed blocks respawn, so you're trapped if that happens. Deer Force didn't think that you were going to be able to break those from the top. It's kind of interesting that some of those respawn, but not others.
Dang, that deboost strat. Deboosting off of the same thing 3 times.
It's so hard to get good deboost there and to like not have them land you in the sand in bad ways.
The only reason that was possible is because Screw Attack will actually reset your iframes. Also, Vanilla Shine Spark right there. That's the intended strat to get up here. You charge a Shine Spark in that other room, and then you can get the missile up here in the main street.
Yeah, you pretty much never see that. Oh, sorry. He wasn't doing Forgotten Highway. He was doing the... that was my mistake. He was doing the regular, like, 100% radiate loop backtrack. I was thinking, like, you did Forgotten Highway to wreck Ship E-Tank for some reason. But he's going to do something else. So the other two, Hero and MrGuyAverage, are not going to... they didn't lower their health. They're not going to be going for the Crystal Flash strat that Susreime is setting up for. It is a time save. I want to say it's like 30 seconds. But you have to manage your health really well throughout the duration of this, and so if you don't do that efficiently, that can eat away at the time that it would save. But keep an eye on Susreime, because it's going to be pretty interesting what he's going to do in just a couple of rooms.
Yeah, my internet just crashed, but it's back up. That was weird.
Yeah, I was just talking about what he's going to do something cool in basically the next room. Finally getting the moat missiles too.
Also, did he see if he drained his reserve earlier?
I think he did.
He's gonna Shine Spark across, get the low health. And he's gonna grab this guy, go out of bounds, and then do a Shine Spark or a Crystal Flash.
Well, not out of bounds, but just inside the wall.
Yeah. My My bad.
It's not like technically out of bounds unless you're outside the entire rectangle that encapsulates the ring. So I like this. This is an allowed strat. So, but he's gonna X-ray climb into this door transition, which actually does exist.
You'd know if it's out of bounds if the map would stop flashing. That's one way to tell.
Yeah. So this is bowling skip.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to sit through it for a second time to get the missile in reserve here.
And GuyAverage is not going to do that.
So the crystal flash is required because it gives you a force stand, which it's needed to be able to use X-ray while crouched. Because the initial crouch state that grappling into the wall puts you in doesn't let you use X-ray. And I guess to explain X-ray climbing, since I've glossed over that, X-ray also, if you're crouched and you turn around out of an X-ray scope, like animation sort of, the game also gives you a force stand, and that if you do that over and over, it just raises you up and up. So you can use that to go out of bounds. There are a lot of categories that, or there are categories that use that, but it has some uses actually staying within bounds too, like that one.
Unless they change the rules, that would be allowed in normal any percent because it is in bounds. Funny enough, but it's slower in normal any percent, so you don't see that happen.
Yeah, it requires grapple and it requires crystal flash ammo.
And also X-ray. Bowling skip really just doesn't save enough time.
It barely saves time in this, like perfectly, you can get perfectly viable times not doing it. Like these other guys are. I think Super Mario World dropped the percent terminology because it was easier to say like 0 versus 11 exit than it was to like say any percent know this, know that, know whatever. They actually still do use any percent know Star World as terminology. That's way off topic though. But we, I guess, like for max percent terminology, yeah, usually, yeah, it is used when there's some restriction that only lets you get a certain amount of percent in the game. So, like, Prime 1 and 2 actually have a category called max percent NSJ for no space jump. So that's less than 100% because you can't get all the items. So it's like adding a restriction. So the max you can get without getting space jump. But here it's like, it's a bit different, I guess, because it actually technically lets you get more percent than you'd be able to otherwise. High percent is not a term that people like saying, really, so it doesn't really get used. It's also interesting. Go ahead.
I guess it's worth noting there are other ways to increase the number of items you can get, but that would involve space-time beam and weird out-of-bounds memory corruption. So if you do that, then it's just gonna there's no end to how much you can get. So
yeah, so it's rather pointless.
Yeah. And there is no true max percent there because you can just keep getting more.
Well, actually, the max that the game will ever display is 999%.
Who would want to run that though?
Yeah, no, that doesn't really sound like fun to me. There is actually there's a 100% GT code category actually, which is more of a joke category, but you do GT code, and you collect some items along the way, and then you keep using space-time reset to. I think you get the Terminator E-Tank over and over again until the game says you got 100%, and then you just end the game. I think 2Cat has the record for that, and it's under an hour.
So if it looks like GuyAverage just lost his lead to Susreime there, it's because of bowling skip. Oh.
Oh my god.
Soft poop.
The soft poop strat. He did the wraparound shot to open the door as well.
Ah, man. Almost.
Didn't get very far in this gauntlet, but like, if you... It's so precise to get the spring ball jumps to line up the way you need them to. But you can get through the whole thing.
And my nose quick drops. So you can also see all the runners have 1400 energy, but they actually have more because they likely have more E-tanks just sitting in the back that you can't see because the game can only display 14, even though they're going to get up to 21.
Yeah, it'll be 2100 energy flat too, which is kind of funny.
They also have 7 reserve tanks.
Yeah, so I mentioned this in chat during the Hyper Metroid run, which that hack has 5 reserve tanks in it, but you can fit 5 on the pause screen without having to redraw anything or like draw over anything. But we do get 7, so it just keeps drawing them to the right of the last one.
I don't think the HUD is going to get broken though.
No, the HUD doesn't get broken from this. It doesn't. For the E-tanks, it can't draw more than that. So actually, like when you get refilled to full from getting an energy tank, you get damaged. You don't really know for sure how much health you have.
Oh yeah.
This is also going to have some interesting effects on during the mother brain fight when you're getting refilled by the baby.
I mean, that will make stand-up glitch extremely worth it because you have to heal so much.
Yeah, the file select screen does show all of them. which looks really funny. It also misaligns the higher rows. Each extra row you get is like shifted off one to the right. And then I think at some point it is unable to draw them properly. %, real time. So there are kind of two different 0%, I guess. There's the 0% task that you probably saw uses arbitrary code execution to end the game. And the inputs for that are not possible for a human to do in real time. But that task actually does not have any items and uses, I think, door skips to get around out of bounds without the morph ball. But there is a 0% that has been done in real time. And that does some really weird things. It does pick up items, but it does some out of bounds glitches to corrupt memory to make you go out of bounds and you corrupt memory to unset the flags for the items that you've picked up, so the game thinks that you don't have them, even though you do. And the record for that is like 3 hours and change. You need Variasuit for that, actually. You need Variasuit in X-Ray. Because some of the out-of-bounds stuff you have to do is in heated rooms.
And so, I'd just like to point out this strat that Susreime is about to attempt. It's going to try doing a space jump or space boost out of the Bobo super area, and it's really difficult, but it looks really cool.
Oh, this is crazy. So he has to like shoot this super block perfectly and have like the perfect speed going out.
Yeah, it's really hard to get. Said he's only like 20% consistent with it or something like that last time I asked him about it.
He was just a tiny bit too high to get it. He hit the wall, and that's like really all it takes. Yeah, so Susreime is ahead. He's done more of the Brinstar cleanup. Because of like the backtracking that this category pretty much entails. Yeah, you're not going to be able to tell who's ahead just by looking at where they are if you don't know the route. But yeah, Susreime's ahead. GuyAverage is not very far behind him. Just got those 4 spawn super, or is about to get those 4 spawn supers that he just got. Hero is probably half of Jungle Brinstar behind GuyAverage. They're all tied on bosses. Everyone's killed. Great. Everyone's killed every boss, actually. So it's just cleanup to get the rest of the items and get 135%.
GuyAverage also went for that crazy space jump strat. Fortunately, didn't get it either. It's really hard.
Yeah. I think there were some jokes about putting it in randomizer logic.
Oh man.
To let you get out of spore spawn without bombs or power bombs.
So if you do, I guess if you have speed booster and supers and morph, it is possible to get out of there, but it's just so hard. It's easier when you're close up, and Susreime is actually pretty consistent with that. I asked him about that whole strat there, but when you have space jump, it's just so hard because inconsistent because you have to get the space jump timings as well.
Like doing it the fast way in a way that it would save time is really hard.
Yeah.
But if you took your time and did like a slow 4-tap, so that you could move slower when you're doing it, it'd be quite a bit easier.
I mean, either way, it's still really hard. Or I'm just bad at the game, one of the two.
It's still pretty hard. It's still pretty hard to like keep up that state and like not hit things. You still have to shoot the super block at the right time. So I like how it was actually like worth it to unequip ice here, or whenever they did that. Usually it wouldn't be worth it, but Susreime at least like had to do menus for to set up Crystal Flash. And for the other runners, I think it's still worth it because there's so many early game areas that you go through with enemies that would get in your way if you froze them. Plasma Wave is my favorite beam combination because it just cuts through anything without stuff getting in your way. It's enemies, walls.
I wonder when they turned off Ice Beam. I didn't see. They might have done it on the Brinstar elevator, but maybe even earlier.
Yeah, I didn't really see. It was definitely after Dragon for sure. Might have been after Fantoon. Or no, Fantoon is at the start.
Next ship.
It was after Dragon because you want the Ice Beam on for extra damage, of course. So is that the last item for him? Oh no, he's still got Terminator E-Tank. That's the last item, right?
Did he get Terminator? I guess now he did. Because he went up the gauntlet earlier. I couldn't remember if he came back in here for some reason.
You don't want to come back in here. Like, it's not on the way. It's on the way when you're going to Turian, so... Pretty funny last item.
Now he gets to just chill out here for a little bit.
Yeah, so MrGuyAverage getting Criteria Supers, he just has 2 more items left to get, so he's really, really on his tail. Although, like, Susreime could have saved much, much more time with the early gravity route that he attempted. But it was just so difficult. So difficult to get across the moat that it cost him a lot of time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a new route, if you will, because you just gotta do a really hard early X-ray because it's 0 tank, and you gotta do it really hard. Bomb jump cross mode and then X mode, which is frame perfect. So it's really not a marathon viable strat. It's more of a strat you do if you want to get a world record.
I think it kept it interesting for the race at least. So like,
yeah, definitely.
But it's good to show off the route differences too. Yeah, he used kind of a hybrid route in his current world record. So he used to get Varia and speed, but then he switched to just only getting Varia. This is an incredible terrain.
Oh yeah, his terrain is really crazy.
So his hybrid route, oh my god,
wow.
That room 3. He also turned off both his suits so that he could get damaged faster, I believe. Because he has a lot of extra health.
So this is a place where you really want to get baby skip, because in 135%, he's got 21 E-tanks, basically. Or 20. More, yeah, he's got basically 20 E-tanks because Bueno doesn't have any health in it.
They don't show up on the HUD because they're specially the items. The item pickups are specially coded to draw them on the screen as part of the routine for when you pick them up. They didn't actually pick them up; they got them via GT code, so that routine was never triggered. It's also a routine that's triggered on like reloading the game after a save. So if you were to do that, they would show up. So unfortunately, he missed Baby Skip. Yeah, you're pretty severely impeded by the physics of the baby Metroid, but you can just barely wall jump your way up there.
Oh wow, he got a really good short charge there. He's pretty far back on the platform when he charged a spark.
So his current world record, as I was saying, uses the hybrid route. So it gets Varia, but not speed. Speed's a big detour, but he does get Varia for the safety for the bowling spike. The difficulty that adds compared to what the other three were doing is that to get back up Red Tower, you can't try and spark up it, which is already very hard. The fastest way to do it with only bombs is to do to wall jump up the right and then do like a diagonal bomb jump to get up to the ledge. That saves you from having to IBJ up the whole tower. And then you still have to do the moat bomb jump, so that's the other difficult part of it.
See, he's doing intentional. Oh, maybe that wasn't intentional.
Oh, that's
I don't think he has enough for stand-up anymore.
He's got some reserves at least.
He has 14 reserve.
Oh, he's gonna die. He's dead. 14 in his reserves. Oh wait, sorry. I forgot he actually... I'm sorry, I forgot he has Varia and he just turned it off. I freaked out. That was my bad. I saw he had exactly 600.
Unfortunately, he had a lot of health, so Mother Brain's gonna take her sweet time damaging him down.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I'm hoping that we see one of the other runners show off the stand-up glitch in this, because it is hilarious how this works out when you have this many E-tanks.
So, ideally, I'm pretty sure you want to do for stand-up, you want to do 39 charge shots and then hit her with the hyper beam. So I'm pretty sure that's the fastest way to do it. If I'm not wrong, killing her in stand-up is actually slower, right?
Yeah, I think she takes a bit of extra time to walk into her like death position, if she's already at 0 HP when you start the official phase 3.
So yeah, Susreime's health counter is going to go crazy right here. Just going to keep counting up and then going back down to 0 and counting up even more.
Oh, it's actually going to take way longer for the refill to happen at all. Which, like, you want to use this time effectively, and he's unable to, so it's actually even worse for him than I thought.
Yeah, MrGuyAverage is at least going to be able to do a stand-up here.
Yeah, so like if you saw those onion rings were like disappearing, they weren't hitting the baby anymore. The baby was already dead, so it needs to get hit by 44 onion rings to die, and you have to be at full health. So only one of those conditions is met, so it was dead. So the onion rings were just not hitting it, they were disappearing.
Luckily, the reserve tanks fill instantly, so that's not a thing that they have to worry about.
I didn't know they refilled instantly. That's good, at least. They definitely do not refill instantly from a ship refill. That takes forever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the instant refill is a bad thing in GT Classic because you get Mother Brain just wear the Metroid as a shirt if you're not careful.
If you got your flat 700 energy, yeah, I've lost races to that. So, GuyAverage doing stand-up. He's got, like, all the time in the world to get these shots in. And you see the same thing on his side. Those onion rings are just disappearing. So the baby's already dead.
Susreime going for the blue bomber, unfortunately.
He's got time.
Yeah.
Oh, Hero got the baby skip. Nice.
Nice.
So, yeah, I think GuyAverage did the full 40 shots. Probably a bit extra. Because Mother Brain 3 didn't take any damage after Samus got Hyper Beam. And she walked kind of slowly into the center of the room. He got 41. Well, 41 is a very good achievement, so I wouldn't be unhappy about that. It's not many people that can say that they got 41.
Susreime going to the animals.
They have so many missiles left.
Yeah. Doing a good thing, saving the animals. Shouts to him for that. Looks like it's gonna hit the ship at the same time, GuyAverage and Susreime.
Oh wow. GuyAverage got hit by steam. That was the difference, I think.
Yeah. Susreime actually he says he has a consistent setup for getting the animals without getting steamed all that much, which is something I'm gonna have to.
Oh, GG. That was a really good showcase. Probably, like, I think it was literally 2 seconds apart. So I think, like, Susreime got around... Maybe it was 1 second? I think Susreime got, like, a low 126.01, and GuyAverage got a high 126.02. So we may end up getting them in here to talk to them real quick. As Hero finishes up.
Hero going for the blue bomber right now. Yeah, that's actually days. They're basically all underestimate right now. Because estimate's 140, and Hero's definitely going to be getting out before then. Also, nice blue.
Imagine underestimating this category. Alright, so Susreime's gonna decline an interview.
Still gonna be sub 130. GG. So that Phantoon death at the very beginning was really unfortunate. And that's what put him behind.
Are you okay there, Beeps?
Yeah.
Okay. Just having internet issues, I guess.
Yeah, my internet's being a piece of crap.
Alright, got Guy Average in here, GG. That was extremely close between you and Susreime. It was like a 1 second difference.
Thanks, man.
So how did you think you did?
Yeah. I can't really hear anything right now. Hold on.
Oh. Okay. See if we can get him to hear me. Can you hear me, Beeps?
Yeah, I can. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. As I think that might have been a problem just now.
Looks like he's having trouble hearing us. Technical difficulties on his end too, I guess. So I actually do need to run now. So if Hero wants to come in here, can you handle that?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, I'm not sure how much time we have because we're already behind schedule.
That's all right. Rossi will let us know, I think.
All right.
But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. This is a really cool category.
Yo, Susreime guy average.
Hey,
What's up beeps?
All right, so that was a really close race between the two of you. So Aster had to run, so he's gone, but I'll be taking care of this. So, what do you... Yeah, short interview. So basically, y'all had a really close race. So at the end there, so do you just have anything you want to say about the run in general?
GA, if you have anything.
yeah, I was looking at the restream, and if I hadn't missed like GGG the first time, I probably would have won.
Yeah, and I think you didn't you like go up the Norfair elevator
Oh.
accidentally.
Yeah.
That
I
was
did.
pretty funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really glad how it turned out to be a close race in the end.
Yeah, it was fun. I didn't think you were
It
gonna
wasn't
go
fun.
for the X-ray route.
Yeah, that was too ballsy for me, honestly.
Yeah, I'm
Way too
honestly
ballsy.
surprised he did it, but it made a really cool race in the end, just because of how dangerous it is and just really showing off the category in many different ways.
But GG for getting it first try. That was really cool.
Yeah, thanks. I just really hope that hoping that this performance was able to get more eyes on this category, because it's definitely one of the more like the hidden gems of Super Metroid. Would you agree, GA?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it looks like we have Heroine here as well. So,
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hey.
everyone on the run. So, do you have any thoughts on it, like before we have to cut?
I wish I wouldn't have died.
Oh yeah, that Fantoon death put you back quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know how much time that actually loses, but it has to be at least a minute or two, I would imagine.
Yeah. It suited pretty well even with that death, keeping
Yeah.
up with that.
Yeah, it was still pretty close for sure, even with the death.
Yeah, look, I had the stream open and I was watching. It looked like, other than my death, and then I didn't catch what happened with Susreime, and I think he maybe died in X-ray. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and then maybe a little bit of mode trouble, but other than that, it looked like everyone played pretty well.
Yeah, I had the splits up the whole time, and I kept getting golds late game. It was crazy.
Yeah, I was actually thinking I think you could have had a really good chance at a PB without the GGG reset, the
Yeah.
elevator mistake, and the baby skip. Yeah, I think that was a really good run for GA.
I just picked this category back up like 2 weeks ago, and already have it like 126.
Oh wow.
Casual run.
So any more last minute thoughts on it? Because I'm about to hand it over to Zero Mission 100% Rando.
I think I can speak for everyone and say that this is a really fun category and more people should run it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hero.
All right, so gonna throw it over to the Zero Mission people now with their 100% item rando race. So everyone stay tuned for that. I'll see y'all later.
Thanks,
for
Beeps.
having us.
See you guys.